This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Trust in Hashem, adayad, adayad, adayad. B'tchuv Hashem, have faith in Hashem, for we know that He only does good. V'hashem v'yisa elevavecha, let it enter our hearts as we say. He knows what we need, we just need to believe that Hashem runs our world every day. That Hashem runs our world every day.
1, 2, 3, action. Welcome back, boys and girls, to another special edition of RCP. What we're going to do today is something so special, something we have never done before. We are going to not just talk about, but we are going to live the concept of Mi Ke'amcha Yisrael, who is like the Jewish people. Spoiler alert, no one. The Gemara says in Brachos and Vav that Hashem wears tefillin. And what's in Hashem's tefillin? The words, Mi Ke'amcha Yisrael. But I don't want to just talk about this. I want you to actually come on a ride with me, as you already see. Come on a journey. And we're going to get to see firsthand just how special the Jewish people are. We're standing outside right now, one of the biggest yeshivas in the world, the Mir Yeshiva. We're talking about here over 8,000 students, and as we're coming in right now at 9 o'clock in the morning, as you see pouring in, there are buses and buses and buses coming from all around Yerushalayim and also other parts of Eretz Yisrael. Torah is something which protects us, it protects the Jewish people. And on the one hand, we know that Klal Yisrael right now is in a serious time where there are those on the front line, so to speak, and physically speaking, that they're out there fighting with weapons. We also know when Yaakov Avinu goes and he fought with his cherv and his keshet, that's with his sword, and with his bow, which we understand means with tefillah and with Torah. And here we are, thousands and thousands of talmidim, of students that are coming to make sure that they're doing their part.
This is us coming to do our part. We're not just, sitting here like this is what we do. We have to sit in yeshiva. We're actually actively taking a part in the protection.
When the war broke out, I felt like I actually wanted to be here. It was a little scary, but Baruch Hashem, it's working out.
What were your feelings at the time, thinking it's time to go right back to the base medrash?
Feeling of being drafted.
The first thought I had, even before the Gedolim said it, was that you see soldiers going down south and up north. We can't just stay at home and do whatever we want. We should start doing our part.
I have friends up north. I have friends in the Gavriel with Lebanon. I have friends next to Gaza. And to know, I'm here, and I have their names, and I'm learning, and I'm also coming to war. The war from our front, from Torah, which allows the soldiers to be able to be successful.
Just like the soldiers, they go to their base. We also have a base. It's called the base medrash. I'm going to check out the base right now. And here we are protecting Klal Yisrael. What we're doing right now is not a small part. This is the biggest part to be able to protect us from all of our enemies. And excuse me, I got to get back to war. Okay, says the Mishnah.
You look at us, we're learning all day. You could say, wow, these people are very, very important. They're so much older than us, so much learned than us. But the Gemara tells us about how the children have a tremendous advantage over us adults, even the ones that are learning. Your tefillas have a special place in Shamayim that could do more than people that may be much older than you, twice your age. It's because you still have Tahara, you still have Kedusha. We're here in Eretz Yisrael, we need your tefillas. Your tefillas not only in shul, But while you're walking, you can speak in English, in French, whatever you speak, whatever language is your language that comes from your heart. Daven to Hashem, say, Hashem, it's not enough that we want the soldiers to come back, that no one should get hurt. We want that you should be our Melech. We want the Geula Shlema. We want that everybody should realize and should know that Hashem is Melech al Kol Ha'aretz.
As we're walking out of the Mir Yeshiva to go to the next stop, we find over here a little stand. It says over here, Torah Magna Umatzah. The Torah protects and saves. They've taken upon themselves that they're going to try to finish the entire Gemara 57 times, the entire Shas, which is pretty amazing. And I think maybe I'm going to do this myself. And hopefully I'll finish it in time. We have a month to finish. Be'ezah Hashem will take Maseches Megillah. Okay, we got to run. Let's go. When a Jew, a Yid, anywhere in the world is in pain, it doesn't matter what he wears, how he dresses, what language he speaks, what country he is from, what his last or first name is. If he's in pain, we're all in pain. The Jewish people are all one, and we're there to help. And we try to do whatever it is that we can to ease the pain and ease the burden of any Yid, any Jew, near or far. Welcome back, boys and girls, to another Rosh Chodesh project. I get to see it just because of you and your schus. Okay, so here we are, as I'm sure you guys are aware of living here in Israel. I'm sure some of you have heard some sirens. Yes, you've seen that, heard and seen some action, a little bit of stuff going on over there. If you wanted to call right now the Prime Minister of Israel, I imagine you're not going to get through. You could try to call President, it's not going to work. But we have an incredible line here called Tefillah that we get to speak to Avinu Shabbat Shemayim. We get to speak to Hashem whenever we want. We could speak. But we know the Gemara tells us that kids in particular, children in particular, have a particular koach, a stronger klita, a stronger connection. A well-known story about a shul during Yom Kippur, where there was a boy who came in, and he sits down in the back of the shul, and everyone's davening. It's Yom Kippur. It's serious. The tone is very intense. And as they're davening, this one boy, who didn't really even know anything, he didn't know how to daven, he just knew the Aleph Beis, and he had just learned it, so he wanted to be part of the tefillah. So he comes in, and everyone, you can imagine, I'm sure you guys were in shul in Yom Kippur, and everyone's like very serious, and this boy, he gets in and he's like, Aleph! Aleph! And I'm like, quiet, And he's like, Aleph! And as he's yelling out Aleph, I was like, what is this kid doing? Get him out of shul, in the middle of shul, And then as he's like, they look like quiet, he's like, Beis! And he's going back and forth, Aleph, Beis! And they're about to kick him out of shul. And before they do, the rabbi goes, leave him. And they just keep going, and this goes out for like an hour, and finally, when everything ended and the boy finally left, the rabbi said, I want to tell you something. We prayed and we davened, and it was a beautiful thing what we did, but you should know that all of our tefillos were brought up to Shemayim through the tefillah of that boy. Everyone's like, what are you talking about? The kid didn't even daven. All he did was, Aleph! That's all he did. He said, because the sincerity of a child, of a kid going out and davening, that's what will even lift up the tefillahs to bring it to Shemayim. We're going to say 2 kapitel Tehillim. Okay, let's say, doesn't get more serious than this right now. This is the midst of the actual Achenu Kobei Yisrael and Esunim Batzara Uva Shivya. This is an East Tzar right now. Of the Bim Bayam, Bim Biabasha. As we know, the attacks were coming from all over the place. Hamalkum, Yerachim Aleim, Hashem should have mercy. V'yotziyeh mitzara lirvacha to bring them out. Hayamakam Yerachim. Hachem Aleichem Yotziei Mitzara Levacha Umeafel Aliyah Volei Olashta Baga Allah Uvizman Karev.
Talmud Torah Darchei Noam in Ramat Beit Shemesh.
Rav Gav came to our school. We just said to him. We sang together. It was very nice.
You've been on a recorded project before, right?
It was the one with Effie as a cow.
You're eating more than a cow could eat.
That we should daven more and have kavanah in our davening and not just say the words, but actually think of what they mean.
Took upon myself to learn 10 Mishnayos every day.
Have more kavanah in tefillah. To say Tehillim a lot. To think about what we're saying during davening and to appreciate davening a lot more.
What do you have in your hand right now?
Chocolate that I got from Rav Gav.
Is it delicious?
It is absolutely delicious.
This is not an easy time at all, and we know that Hevel Pin shall Tinokas shall base Rabbim is what's going to save us and help us, and hopefully bring the Yeshua very, very soon. So thank you very much for having this amazing program.
If someone would ask you, soldiers on the front lines of war, where there are rockets being fired, bullets being shot, what are the soldiers asking for? What do they need? One of the biggest demands this past week has been tzitzis. They said, get us tzitzis. We need tzitzis. So if you look at this army-colored tzitzis, we're standing here, we're in a shul in Ramat Beit Shemesh, where there's a whole factory going on over here. A shul became a tzitzis-making factory.
We bought already more than 22,000 shirts. In the beginning we did green, we did blue for the Air Force, and we did black because the green finished. Now I found a stock, just 1,000, we're looking for more. Now we're getting people from Florida giving to us. We have Hasidim doing it, Mizrahi, Haredim, Litvak, Yeshivas, everything. The demand is crazy, the demand is unbelievable.
Soldiers,
yeah, but we have people making Shechianu all the time, first time in their life.
That's my size right there, extra, extra large. Girls all over the country that are cutting down and getting the clothing ready, and then they ship it on to the boys who are sitting for hours and hours tying knots of tzitzis. I mean, take a look, you see over here, just like boxes and boxes, there's a whole factory. You look, you see over here the tzitzis that are just waiting to go. When have you ever seen such a thing? Mi ka'amcha Yisrael, that we have so many Jews coming together to make sure that these demands can be met. How many pairs of tzitzis do you think that you've already made? He's done already 150 tzitzis by himself. And if you've ever made tzitzis, it takes time. You got to sit there, every string, 7, 8, 11, 13, 7, 8, 11, 13, 7, 8, over and over again. 150 soldiers are wearing tzitzis in the schus and the merit of our friend over here, Eliyahu Moshe.
Just start getting donations.
From all over the world.
All over the world. We have people from America, of course, Israeli, Russian people, English. I have a guy from Italy now reach out to me, donate.
How did they get you? How do they know how to get you?
So how do they know how to get to us? A good question. Some of
you
them
don't even know.
No.
They just get to you. We're standing here in the back room with the extra supplies while people are sitting, going and making tzitzis, spending hours and hours of their day to just make sure that they can keep up with the demand. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers, hundreds of thousands are asking for tzitzis.
זה האפוד החדש. שכפ"ץ רוחני. זה השמירה הרוחנית שלנו.
There's an amazing story that's been going around now about a soldier.
His name is Guy Madar. Guy Madar was spending Simchat Torah, spending Shabbat in Kiryat Gat with his grandparents. And in the morning, when he heard the massive rocket fire and he started hearing about stories that was going on in the south, he jumped into his car as fast as he can, drove down south to the heart of the action.
And he noticed some terrorists, a whole group of terrorists, and he was shooting, and there was a battle that ensued, and he was able to, thank God, knock out a bunch of terrorists.
And jumped into a police car, kept driving down even farther south to rescue more people, and on the way, Guy and the policemen were just caught in an ambush, and terrorists were shooting at them in every direction.
And as it was happening, he got shot, and he had to stop the car. He fell out of the car, but he kept fighting. He couldn't do it anymore. He was so weak. He was lying on the floor with all these terrorists that were no longer in the land of the living, we'll call it.
And a group of soldiers arrived in the area. They
saw one of these people there with a weapon from a terrorist. So they figured this must be a terrorist, but it turns out it was a Jew. He needed more ammo, so he grabbed one of their weapons.
And seconds before they were going to shoot Guy tried to muster strength and say, I'm a chayal, ani Yehudi, I'm Jewish. But he couldn't do it because he was weak.
And then all of a sudden one of them says, no, that's all. He yelled out, stop, don't do anything. They're like, what?
One of the soldiers noticed that guy was wearing tzitzit and said, don't shoot.
The tzitzis saved his life.
So Guy Madar, who was wearing tzitzit, was saved from the fact that he was doing a mitzvah.
The soldiers understand how important that is. And that's why Klal Yisrael is coming together in such a powerful way here to make sure that we can give the supply for such a demand. Maybe you've heard about the fact that there's a war happening in Israel, and it's happening in the south is the main area of where it's happening, and they happen to live in the south. אתם גרים בדרום, נכון?
אני גר בנתיבות, ואז פתאום אנחנו שומעים כבר צרורות של יריות, משהו כמו 300 מטר.
Okay, they heard shooting is going on, but then it started to sound very close, מאוד קרוב לכם, נכון?
כן, קרוב מאוד, כן.
Something like that. Then עד יום אחרי זה.
עד יום ראשון בבוקר, כן.
Oh wow, until Sunday morning. So they stayed and they were talking about almost 24 hours. Imagine staying in your room. Finally, yesterday, they were able to come to Rabbi Shemesh. Mika'amcha Yisrael, they give him an apartment, they have a place to stay with the whole family, and they have over here this amazing organization, Ezras Achim. They brought them food.
וכולם ביחד, כל המגזרים, כולם. בעזרת השם, זה הביא את המשיח, בעזרת השם, את הגאולה השלמה.
We have over here all of Jewish people coming together. Even you don't know who we are, we're religious, not religious, come from all walks of life. We're saying hopefully with this will bring Mashiach.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, pleasure. That was one family of thousands of families that are displaced. I want to show you here, Ezras Achim, what an incredible organization, and what they do to help Yidden. Shalom Aleichem.
We had to get drivers that then had, protective vests and helmets to then go out to those areas where we're under war and bring them to Beit Shemesh. I mean, we're up to about 150 families that are just here in Beit Shemesh. We have also families that we sent out to Bnei Brak. We're cooking hundreds and hundreds of meals for soldiers, for families that came from the south that we're giving it out.
People willing to drive to all of our locations, to army bases, to families, to bring families when there's sirens going off. It's a tremendous Mesiras Nefesh.
Also, we've been sending out also bulletproof army vests that are also the green shade, like what the army needs, like what the one he's wearing right over here, you could see.
Everyone now, we're all Chayalim together, we're all fighting this war, doing tremendous amounts of chesed, everyone coming from every background.
The founder of Ezrat Achim, Rav Avrami Cup, I'm going to let him say a couple words in Hebrew.
עם ישראל חזק וטוב, מצפים לישוע בקרוב ממש.
We are hands-on, my friends. Ezras Achim going to help people that are in the south. Not a simple thing here. Unbelievable chesed. There's not a country in the world, there's not a people in the world that would do anything, stop, drop, and run to come and help their people. Like we found this past 2 weeks that Klal Yisrael was willing to do. There was someone who was trying to get a flight. He called up a travel agent and he said to him, I'm looking to get a flight. I know I'm sure there's very few flights because, people are not flying now. They said, actually, there are a ton of flights, but they're all on the way in. They're all coming to Israel. Over 165,000 Israelis came back to Israel. And the aid and the help that's coming from all around the world is unparalleled and unprecedented. We're one people. Mika'amcha Yisrael, goy echad ba'aretz. Who is like the Jewish people? We're one nation. There's nobody else in the world like that. We just, on our way down south, we saw a soldier on the side of the road. He's going back now to Miluim, that's the reserves. He was allowed to leave his base just for a day or two because it was a wedding he went to. So we just dropped him off. We wanted to interview him. There's only one problem. He's not allowed to be on camera. So we tried. We tried even though he said no, but he had a gun. So we stopped trying. These are all volunteers, people that are coming from all over the country, some people coming from out of the country to see what can we do to help. And unfortunately, they've seen some pretty intense stuff, but they're there to help no matter what the situation is.
This is my 11th day. I was here since Simchas Torah morning.
I was outside of shul on my phone and everything. It was my son's bar mitzvah, which was canceled because there were the sirens, everybody ran home, and a few minutes later you see dozens and dozens of them getting in their cars.
I picked up all the equipment we had and came down here with my Shabbos clothes. It wasn't easy, and 2 minutes later, we're already starting getting injured soldiers and civilians.
The first 5-6 days, we had here over 1,000 volunteers. Wow.
Now we're on the way to Ashkelon, which is getting hit by missiles on a daily basis. And we're this all around here. We're 18 hours on the driving the ambulances and saving lives. He's the head of United Hatzalah in Sderot. He went down and there's a conversation that he's speaking to someone on the phone, and while he's talking to him, you hear the gunshot, they're shooting out his car.
קודם כל להגיד תודה רבה לקדוש ברוך הוא שניצלנו בניסי ניסים. אני עבר לי קליע ככה, פיצץ לי את הזכוכית.
In 1 second, when our enemies come against us, you see our Am come together. In one moment,
Jews from all over the world, Jews from Eretz Yisrael, Sephardim, Ashkenazim, Litvaks, Hasidim, secular Jews. We're all together in this. We're going to win because we have Achdus. If we don't have Achdus, they're going to win.
This is all chesed. Everything. You see all the volunteers behind us over here throughout, 24 hours a day. You come here. I was here last night at 3 a.m., full of volunteers. Doesn't matter where they're from. Everybody is united.
The Jewish people are the greatest people. You see the chesed and the ahava between everyone. And you see the people bringing food, and they're feeding us, and they're feeding the soldiers, and you see the love everywhere.
Now we're making food and mangal and steaks to the soldiers, to the Am Yisrael, all the volunteers. And
this is what I'm calling all of you, all the kids who are watching me now, hundreds and thousands of students who are watching me. Achdus. You see someone else you don't know, say hello, be nice to them. There's so many ways of chesed. See someone, an old lady walking the street, walk over to her, no matter if it's in London or New York or in Israel, and ask her, can I carry your little bags? That's chesed. Do chesed. Support United Hatzalah too.
What inspired you to help? Why would you want to help such an organization?
Because I'm Jewish. These are my brothers and sisters. We should all be coming here and working with them. I flew in last night. I would have been here sooner, but very hard to get in here now.
You look at this organization is unbelievable. Look at all these pallets, boxes and boxes of medical equipment. People are donating. And I want to just give you a little insight into what it means when you hear a thing called a bomb shelter. You say, well, what is that like? Take a look at this block. This is a block. When I say a block, I mean literally a block. You don't hear any sound because it's just one solid brick of concrete. If you take a look inside, this is it. All these volunteers, maybe they have another one stationed here, they come right over here, this small little area, huddle together until the sirens stop, and then they can go out. They have to wait a little bit, and then they can come out and continue their incredible work. The day is getting short. We ain't got no time. Come join me in the car, on to the next stop. Here we are by an army base, which is down south. We're actually relatively close to Gaza. We're not going to get too close, but you see over here, amazing. Here's Chabad putting a tefillin on people all day for the past week and a half.
Last week, I was actually in Africa, but the minute I've heard of it, I had to come. I'm from Duvdevan. We are here next to... And we're here right now waiting. I don't think that there is an hour at the day when you don't see cars with people from all over Israel coming with food, presents, army equipment, everything. Even from Jews from abroad that donate monies and equipment and everything. I think I've been eating really good this week.
You have to go on a diet after this. Okay, b'atzlacha, Am Yisrael chai. Unbelievable. Thank you very much for all of the things you're doing.
הכוח של עם ישראל זה באחדותנו. רואים פה את החסד, איך כל אחד עוזר אחד לשני. גם אתם שם בבית יכולים לעזור לנו, ילדי ישראל המתוקים, קוראים תהילים, לומדים עלינו תורה. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You see the tank over there, friends? That's what he means. Thank you very much.
We have been trying to get in touch with a great, great sage and holy Jew by the name of Arki Stamen. What have you seen over the past, unfortunately, already week and a half or so?
It's been incredible. I've been in the army for about 2 weeks. I haven't eaten army food yet. Every single night, Jews are coming and doing barbecues for us and bringing us cakes and cookies and letters, playing songs for us, concerts, kumsitzes, on the side of the road. I'll tell you a story. My job in the Army is a little bit complicated, and we came back from a very difficult mission, and I wasn't, you can't come back without a little bit of a heavy feeling. And we get to this gas station, and there's just secular, religious, Hasidish, Sfardim, singing in circles, playing guitars, singing songs about Emunah and Hashem, and Misha Ma'amin Lo Mefached, and Va'afilu Ba'astara, and we're all just singing like these beautiful songs, and it showed me the extreme evil right next to the extreme good, and they were 15 minutes away from each other, and just to see it was just, it uplifted.
Arki, you've just delivered a very powerful message to everyone, and we really appreciate it.
We saw so much chesed today. We saw so much going on. We went from the Mir Yeshiva, how people are sitting and learning day and night, coming early, because this is what we need to do in order to protect and to save the Jewish people. And we went to the Cheder, Darchei Noam. We had an amazing tefillah there. And we know that the Gemara says that the tefillah of children, it goes above and beyond. We went and we saw people involved with making tzitzis, taking the actual clothing, because they don't have enough material, cutting it and making it into tzitzis.
That's the real problem.
This is it. This is really helping. Yeah, people all over the world, obviously, they're praying for you, but make sure you take it with you. Make sure you take it with you. We saw Ezras Achim. We saw these people who were spending Yom V'Layla, day and night. That family from down south that came over here. We went to Hatzalah's headquarters and we spoke to Chezi, who's been there since day one, 11 days. He hasn't seen his family because he's here to help the Jewish people. Where does this come from? What is this that there's such a connection and there's such, it's like we woke up the sleeping giant, this love just popping out over here. Where's that coming from? So I want to share with you a story. The story is that there was once a very big rabbi by the name of Rav Horowitz. Horowitz lived in a place called Lublin. Lublin is in a place called Poland. And one day he called one of his Hasidim and he said to him, I need you to go to Russia. And in Russia there's a Jew who's on trial and you have to go there and you have to help him. He says, okay, if that's what the Rebbe says, my rabbi says, no problem. He travels. It takes some time. It takes a week, 2 weeks through the snow, cold, rain, and he gets there. When he gets there, he walks in. And as he walks in, he says, I'm here to help and defend the Jew. And everyone looks at him, who's this? And he starts to help, go back and forth. And the judge notices something strange. So he says to him, tell me something. Do you even know this guy? And he's like, what do you mean, Your Honor? What does that mean? He's like, I don't know. I get a feeling like you don't even know who this is. He's like, okay, to be honest, I don't. I have no idea who he is. He goes, what are you doing here? I don't understand. You don't even know that. What is this, a joke? You're making a mockery in my courtroom? He's like, no, of course not, Your Honor. We never do such a thing. So he says to him, you know what? I'll tell you what, Jew. I'm willing to let you walk out here as well with your friend, as long as you go out and you can answer for me one question. He says, okay, what is it? I'll answer. What's the question? He said, I know that it says in your Torah, Adam ki yamus ba'ohel, talking about the idea of when a person passes away. And the Gemara discusses on that line, it says, Atem kurim Adam, you, Jewish people, you're called Adam, as in people, as a person. Ve'ein umas ha'olam nikarim Adam, but the nations of the world are not called Adam. You mean to tell me that someone who's not Jewish is not even called a person? How dare you? So he says to him, honorable judge, obviously you're from Russia, you live here in Russia. Tell me, what would you do if you found out that in Poland, miles and miles away, there was a Russian citizen that was on trial? What would you do for them? He said, what would I do? I wouldn't do anything. I would say, Hatzlacha Rabbah, much success in your trial. But I wouldn't go. He says, you see, that is the difference between the Jewish people and the rest of the world. What does it mean when it says, Atem Kuyim Adam? It means we're Adam, we're one person. We're all one. We're all unified. I live in Poland. I find out a Jew needs help. I come to travel for weeks to come and help them. It's the most incredible idea of we're called Adam. Of course you're a Ben Adam, you're a person, but you're not one people like the Jewish people are. What an amazing idea. When the Jewish people were at Har Sinai, we were called Ke'ish Echad, B'leiv Echad. We were all one person with one heart. We're all connected one to the next. And it's unprecedented what we have seen, the chesed, the kindness that's been happening now over the past week plus from all over the world, what people are doing. There's an amazing story that I heard when a lot of families had to leave the South. They had to leave. They needed a place to stay. So what happened? They called around because they don't have a place. And somebody saw this message go out. They said, we're going to help. But they didn't call right away. They called 45 minutes later. And 45 minutes later, they called and they said, you should know, I have a place if someone needs it in the south. They said, oh, you're a little too late. Thank you so much. Well, we placed everyone. He goes, 45 minutes you placed? How many people? He said, about 6,000. 6,000 people in 45 minutes. What an incredible concept to realize. But you know why? Because we're all one. If this finger is in pain, this hand feels it. And that's where this is coming from, everything that we've seen today. All of this incredible kindness and openness what people are willing to do. Opening up their pockets to pay ridiculous money, getting in their cars and driving, going in and giving all the goods that they can to go and to help Am Yisrael.
We were at this gas station with the party going on, and there was a barber. And the barber was there, getting them looking good. And I thought to myself, if the barber was sitting at home, thinking to himself, what can I do to help Am Yisrael? Then everybody has something that they can do. So every kid, every person, all of Am Yisrael, look inside and be like, okay, what makes me special? What do I have to offer? Because we all have something different to offer. For some of us, it's going to be donating and boxing. So for some of us, it's going to be learning. For some of us, it's going to be Tehillim. For some of us, it's going to be adding extra mitzvahs. For some of us, it's going to be calling our grandparents. For some of us, it's going to be telling jokes. Everybody's got something they can offer. I think that you guys every single person listening to this video has something. If the barber can figure it out, you can figure it out.
I have to give a tremendous shout out and a thank you because we got so many videos from boys and girls around the world, quite literally all around the world. And we made a little video that we showed to some soldiers. Unfortunately, we weren't able to video their reactions. Most of them were on base here and they're just not allowed to be videoed.
Israel. It was forced upon us in the most brutal and savage way. The savage attacks that Hamas perpetrated against innocent Israelis are mindful. And just as the forces of civilization united to defeat Hamas, the forces of civilization support Israel in defeating Hamas.
מה העניינים? שמעתי על המיזם הנפלא שלכם, פרויקט ראש חודש. שבעצם ילדים מכל העולם לוקחים איזו החלטה טובה למען עם ישראל, למען זכויות של עם ישראל, שיהיה בעזרת השם הצלחה לחיילים שלנו, ושיהיה בשורות טובות לכל השבויים, והחלמה לפצועים. אשריכם על היוזמה המדהימה הזאת. אני שולח לכם חיבוק גדול, ותזכרו תמיד, עם ישראל חי!
My name is Hanani Goldberger from North Miami Beach, Florida. I'm Gavriel, and I'm on mission day.
We are taking upon ourselves to happen harder, learn better, and improve more missiles and learn the most. Thank you so much for
I'm Ari Ritzstein from Sharitorah, Johannesburg, and I'm taking upon myself to be native to be saying extra dividend in the schus of the war.
We are going to try to have extra kavanah and benching in the schus of you guys.
I would like to take on Kabbalah to learn how to every single day.
We are all davening for you in Eretz Yisrael.
We are giving tzedakah every day, and we're saying the first paragraph of Shema with our finger on the flesh, looking inside.
איזה חיזוקים.
Eliyahu Stewart from Houston, Texas, Yeshiva Stars MS. I try to go to school early so I don't miss a word of davening.
Hello, my name is Jared Lake from Kansas, Sydney, Australia. I want to thank you for your service, and my kaklata I'm going to take is to say extra Tehillim every day. But I won't be afraid of who I am.
שלום, קוראים לי אוריה שלמה ואני גר בלוס אנג'לס ואני אשתדל ללכת לשלוש תפילות ולהגיד את תהילים.
We're here in Yeshiva G'dayla of Montreal.
I'm about to try to say all my brachas out loud. I'm a couple to be nicer to myself.
My name is Isaac Yusupov. I go to Yeshiva Primary and Hollis Schools, New York. We are praying for you guys and we hope everything is fine. I would like to accept upon myself the nether to wear tzitzis every day.
Every time 20,000 remains for you guys.
I'm going to take upon myself to be nicer to other people during when I play sports.
My 6th grade class here has accepted on themselves learning more Torah, Kibbut Avein, Lashon Hara, and they've accepted
A siren echoes in the air, a nation anxious, numb with fear. Side by side, eyes raised.
My prayer goes out to all the people that were injured in Israel.
I wish you Bahaflah on behalf of all the Jews.
With narrow hope.
I'm trying to be nicer to my siblings and closely I'm trying to finish the 6th film 10 times.
Please save our family.
I will try my best to daven better. I will take on to have better midas, so you shall succeed in this war. And may Hashem be with you.
Hearts were bound.
I'm thinking and davening for all the soldiers and Israeli people.
My name is Rabbi Rashgad. I teach 6th grade at YBH Pesach. My class as a whole has decided to be makabel to finish Sefer Tehillim every single day.
עם ישראל חי, העם היהודי חי.
We are saying Perek in Tehillim every day so that you will be safe.
Painful times are bonded.
We are Shiva Sha'arei Tzion in Forest Hills, New York. We have been saying Tuber Akima Petelim and davening and learning as a hope for you, our brothers and sisters in Eretz Yisrael.
If we'd only stay so strong, and when everything is back in order,
I'm thinking of you and we're all davening for you.
מי ישבח אבותינו, אברהם, יצחק ויעקב. הקדוש ברוך הוא ישמור ויציל את חיילינו. ונאמר אמן. We support you and we hope that you do well in the war. Am Yisrael Chai.
My name is Gavriel. I go to LA. You should know that I'm davening for you.
Every day after davening, I say at least one part of the Tehillim. I've taken on to try to not speak while wearing tefillin.
I wanted to make a bracha for all those who are suffering in Eretz Yisrael and all those who are in danger.
and when everything is back in
I will take it upon myself to say the first bracha Shmona Esrei.
To wear kippah when I play sports and say thank you.
We're a family just the same.
Thank you for all your help.
I am saying Tehillim for you.
I am praying for you guys.
For Hashem will see, we've learned that we are really one.
באמת, אין עליכם, אין על עם ישראל.
They were so visibly moved. Some of them brought the tears. And they just say, wow, 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 wow. So you should know you did your part.
I was so moved by that video. You guys are doing such amazing things from all over the world. I'm telling you, there's so many different ways you guys can help, and you're doing them perfectly.
Kol hakavod, all the honor to you. What an amazing thing that we've done today. As we're standing by the base on the way to get into the car, we're literally about to leave. And you take a look over there. Coming from Gaza, two rockets were just shot up, and Baruch Hashem, the Iron Dome was able to shoot them down. I don't know if you could hear it from here, but we hear it. Your Tehillim, your davening, every kapitel, every chapter of Tehillim, we say every word of learning gives a koach. Oh, there's another one. To be able to knock it out of the sky. We don't see it here, but we hear the booms.
Did you ever feel lonely? Did you ever feel lonely with people all around you? No one's found you.
The real challenge over here is twofold. One is to give it to somebody who you know, someone who maybe it's your sibling, maybe it's your friend, maybe it's your teacher, maybe it's your parent. Not just to help someone far away that we know, but people that we actually, your own classmate, your own schoolmate, to be able to help someone. That's number one that I'm challenging you to do.
Lives beyond the limits of your mind.
second one is that it shouldn't just be during a time when there are challenges. Not only in times of war, when we have tanks that are driving in the streets and military personnel, but even during a time of peace, a time of shalom, when we're feeling good and we're connected. Let's keep this going, keep this momentum going, keep this love, keep this connection, and keep this unity.
Forever be who you are together.
We know that the gullus, the exile that we're in, this started because of sinas chinam, and it's up to us to be able to turn the tides and ahavas chinam, to get us out of this gullus, to get us out of this exile, to be able to actually win once and for all by Yom Hahu Yeh Hashem Echad U'Shmo Echad, to bring Hashem's name into the world in a way where we could feel it, where we could see it, where we could live with it. So let's take that chance, let's take that opportunity, and not have to go through dark times, but to be able to go through sunny times, not to be in the shade and the darkness, but to be in the light, to continue to fight, to be able to have the right to connect with one another, even during the positive times, even those that are closest to us.
Wow, what an amazing Rosh Chodesh project video. Make sure your name is on your paper and we will submit them for you. This row, please. And I want to take this opportunity to thank the Bashei Weiss Foundation, Rabbi Yossi Weiss, for giving us and so many schools around the world an amazing opportunity to work month to month on our Emunah. And let's always remember Bashei Weiss Elev Avecha, to keep reminding ourselves Banim Atem L'Hashem Elokeichem.
Hashem guides each part of creation, a world that is perfect and whole, secure that our Father in heaven has everything in His control. How deep then should be our emunah? Hashem loves and leads us with care. We know that without any doubt He'll always be there. Hashem, trust in Hashem, adeyad, adeyad, adeyad. B'tchuv Hashem, have faith in Hashem, for we know that He only does good. V'hashem v'yisah elev avecha, let it enter our hearts as we say. He knows what we need, we just need to believe that Hashem runs our world every day. B'tchuv Hashem, oh trust in Hashem, adeyad, adeyad, adeyad. Oh, B'tchuv Hashem, have faith in Hashem, for we know that He only does good. V'hashem v'yisah elev avecha, let it enter our hearts as we say. He knows what we need, we just need to believe that Hashem runs our world every day. B'tchuv Hashem, oh trust in Hashem, adeyad, adeyad, adeyad. Oh, B'tchuv Hashem, have faith in Hashem, for we know that He only does good. V'hashem v'yisah elev avecha, let it enter our hearts as we say. He knows what we need, we just need to believe that Hashem runs our world every day. That Hashem runs our world every day.
The Rosh Chodesh Project has helped make my emunah stronger.
Made me appreciate how special Christ truly is.
That Hashem controls everything of our lives. It's not just something that you learn about, it's something that you actually do.
That Hashem runs our world every day.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.